After you have created your list and you've set up the basics of that list and you've also created your first form, the next thing you need to do is actually create your first follow-up email. Now this is the first email that your customer officially receives from you after they opted into your list. And this is different than the confirmation email. The confirmation email is basically to confirm their subscription to be a part of your list. Well, this follow-up email is the first email that the customer basically receives from you, and this should be the value add or the reason why they opted into your list in the first place. So let me show you how this is done. What you need to do is go to your messages box at the top of the screen and then click follow-up. This will then load up the follow-up box, and we need to create our first follow-up message. So we'll create a new follow-up message right now. Now again, utilizing my list that I've created for this example, the email submit list, I'm going to fill out basic information for this first follow-up email. So I'm going to insert my subject. First thing I want to do is thank you for your subscription. So we can put something like that in, or I can put in, here is your free gift card. Whatever it was that I told the customer that they were going to receive by signing up for my list, this is where I need to deliver on that information. Now once I put the subject in, I can then go down and create the message. And there's two ways to create a message in the follow-up form. You can use the basic WYSIWYG editor, which this is, WYSIWYG stands for what you see is what you get. You have all your options such as bolding and italicizing, color changing, font changing, size changing, or if you know HTML or plain text, you can come down here and write it in a plain text format. It's really up to you how you want to do it. If you're a beginner, I recommend utilizing the HTML message box. And you can use the design form in the HTML message box, or you can actually write your HTML code. Again, this is a little bit more advanced, so if you don't understand HTML, use your design box. Now the first thing I want to do is type my message or determine also my template. And there's things you can do. If I don't want any template, I just want it to look very basic, I can just type my message in here. But if I do want a template and I want it to look nice and professional, on the right hand side of the screen here you can actually see where there's templates. And if I click on a template, it will then show what that template looks like. And they've got hundreds of templates inside of this email follow-up message box. So if it's something that is I want very modern or maybe even related to the holidays, there's lots of different things I can do. Well, if I want to stay consistent with my website, I can stick modern and then do green and gray. So we have something like this. If I like that form, I click load template. So just spend some time scrolling through here. You can read all the different or see all the different types of newsletter emails that you can actually send out. So let's go back to this green and gray. And then I want to scroll down the page and I'm going to click load template. Now this tells me that if I have anything inside the box right here, any text, it will be deleted. So you usually want to pick your template first. So I'm going to say, all right, I understand the risks. I don't have anything inside the box. Go ahead and load my template. It then loads my template up. And from here, it's now put in basic Latin placeholding text. So I can change that out. So I can do my weekly newsletter. I can delete this information here if I want. And I can put in basically something related to the email submit list. And then I can put in also a headline. You can put in imagery if you want. You can also put in any text and content you want here. You can put in updates such as what's going on this week and maybe featured products if you're selling something, your company name, about us, really anything you want. And the nice thing is that in this email you can even have links. So see how there's a link here for home and articles, products about us. I can link this back to a website or to an affiliate offer or something that I can again make additional money on that email off of the consumer. So different things you can do. You can go in and change your font styling. I can bold things, do whatever I want. I can edit and adjust the email accordingly. Now, once I'm done setting up the email, basically it's how I want it to look. I've made some adjustments, I've made some changes. I can then go and save that email. And before I do that, let me just clarify something. If I start filling this template out and I don't like it, and I decide to change to a different template, So let's say I come and change to this template. If I decide to change any of that template form out and I click load template, it will tell me if I've loaded anything into this box, it will delete it. So if I load template, all my content's gone. So you have to be aware of that. Once you pick your template, unless you have that text saved someplace else, you will lose it. So we've got our template loaded up with our content. If there's a file that I need to attach, let's say that I have told my customers that they're going to receive a free image, or they're going to receive a special report or ebook. I can attach that file to the email by clicking attach file, and then I can go ahead and say, do I want to track the clicks? Well, at this point, I think it's beneficial because I can track and see how many people have actually clicked in links inside that email. So very beneficial. Let me scroll back up and show you one more thing here as well. If I want to hyperlink something, meaning I want text to go somewhere. So let's say I want to hyperlink all this text and I want it to go to my website. I simply highlight that, and then I can go to this hyperlink picture with the world on it, click that. It's then going to load up another box here where I can go ahead and then select where I'm going to hyperlink to. So I would type in my URL, and then I can determine, do I want it to open in the same window or in a different window. So I can say same window, new window, a top window, or a new named window. I'm going to say same window and click insert. That text is now hyperlinked. So the customer can click on that and it will send them to the website where I want them to be. And understand that with affiliate marketing, this is highly beneficial, because if I have created a list and I'm emailing my lists continually, well, what I can do at this point is I can send out emails with new offers, and the customer clicks on that link to go to that new offer and they can sign up or buy the product, and I'm now making more money off of that customer again, over and over again. So emailing is such a huge thing. Same thing with imagery. If you want to insert an image, you just basically click here and then you can click to insert your image. Now, something to be aware of with your imagery is that you do have to have that image hosted somewhere, meaning it's got to be hosted from your own server, or it has to be hosted basically on like Flickr or some type of image hosting site, and you can put your image URL here to insert that. So be aware of that you have to have an image hosting website in order to place an image inside your email. So email set up, ready to go. I'm going to scroll down the page and then I can preview it, see how it looks before I save it. So let's preview our email. So this is how it's going to look to my customer. Again, if they click on that, it's going to send around my baby. And if you look just down here in the lower left-hand corner, when I hover over that, you can see how it says aroundmybaby.com. And then basically, it's got all my content and information in there. That's what my customer would see. If I like what I see, I can click Save Message. It's then going to save that message for me to then populate where I want it. So I've got my new message. Everything's set up and ready to go. And from here, I can go ahead and it's connected into my email list form. Now, how do you know that it's connected in your email list form? Well, right here where it says email submit list. I'm creating everything inside my email submit list. If I wanted to create another follow-up form, let's say I wanted to create a follow-up form for Facebook agents. I'd click on Facebook agents and then I would create a new follow-up form. So whatever you select on your current list is where things are being connected and added into. So really very basic and simple. Now what you'll notice is that I can set intervals. So this message number 1, has an interval of 0 and it will go out immediately after the customer actually signs up or opts into my list. Well, what if I want to send a second email, a third email, and a fourth email to my customer? And I don't want it to go out all at the same time. I want them to be spread out. Well, what I can do is click create a new follow-up message again, and this is going to go back in and set me up to create a new message. Now, this is where I'll put in my subject line, and just for sample purposes, I'll put in follow-up email number 2. I would then go ahead and select my text, my font. Let me just quickly select an option here. Load the template. We'll keep scrolling down the page, and then I can go in and preview that message, and it asks me right here what's my interval? So number 2, how far after they receive the first email do I want them to receive this second email? Well, they've automatically pre-populated 4 days in there. I'm going to say, no, send this second email out 3 days later. And I can select only deliver this message on certain days and times, meaning I only want it to go out on Sunday or midnight or 3 a.m. Now, this would be beneficial because if I have a promotion that's starting every Monday morning, I can send out an email every Sunday night saying, hey, tomorrow is our 1-day promotion, go and check it out. And so you can set up specific dates and times. Well, at this point, I'm looking more at just the interval. I just want this email spread 3 days after the first email. I can go ahead and preview that and I can save it. If I save it, it then takes me back to my page where I now have my 3-day interval. So as we can see here, message number 1 is delivered immediately, and that's here's your free gift card. Message number 2 is 3 days later automatically, and it's that follow-up email number 2. And I can go in and do that again and again. So let me show you how to do one more. So in our subject line, we'll title this email number 3. We can select our template. Now, something that I recommend that you do is make sure that your templates really stay consistent and the same. For sample purposes, mine are kind of different here just because I'm trying to quickly go through this, but you always want to make sure that your email template is consistent for your news list. Now, this third email I want sent out 10 days after the second email, and it says right here, number 3 will be sent 10 days after the previous, and be aware of that that's not from the first email, that's actually based upon when the last email went out. So I can then gauge things saying, well, how far do I want to email my customers based upon the previous email that was sent. After I've set that in, I can go ahead and click Save Message. It will then save my message and take me back to my follow-up message board. So as you can see, I have 3 messages, and then it shows my intervals, 0, 3, and 10 days. So this is 3 days after the first message, and this is 10 days after the second message. And then it has those in order. I can copy those and replicate them. I can delete them. I can do whatever I need to on those emails. Now, as I scroll down the page here, you can see where it says campaign sharing. And campaign sharing basically means that I can share this campaign with somebody else that may have an AWeber account. And this may be that I partnered up with somebody and they need access to these emails or want to update and create a new follow-up email. So I can go in and turn this on and say, hey, they can have access to my follow-up emails only and adjust and change those, or broadcast emails, or the entire thing. That's really what this is for. And then you have your load campaign. If you have predefined campaigns, something that you've already built, you've created all the messaging, you've created the process and the sequence, you can load that campaign up right here. That's really it. That sets us up so that we are now prepared and ready to start our autorespons and email campaign to our customers. Again, you can add as many of these in here as you want. Just be aware that whatever list you're building in is where your follow-up emails will actually take place. And it's a great way to keep in touch with your customers. I highly recommend using follow-up messages to engage your customers, to keep them involved in what you're offering. And the biggest thing is that when you're sending these follow-up emails, make sure you're adding value to the customer. If your customer signed up to receive free gift card offers and free type of products, those are the type of offers you should be sending them. You don't want to send them something that is irrelevant to your list. If you stick with that, you'll be highly successful in using your follow-up email campaign with your affiliate offers.